Hey guys, we're back out with 5.8 Alpha, and today I'd like to talk about what I've learned in the last 2 months of steel shooting competition. Let's get into it. All right, so I've made some notes here on the way to the range this morning, just kind of thinking about steel competition, everything I've learned, everything I've got to do to get better and improve myself. So in 2 months, I've actually kind of learned a lot. And so for this video, it's more geared towards beginners so that they understand what to expect and how to get yourself better out at the range when you're doing the steel competition. But all of these aren't in any specific order. I just kind of started just jotting them down real quick. So the first thing here that I have on the list is get a competition belt. So for me, I got this competition belt from a buddy of mine, and it's very stiff. It's a two belt system. You have an inner belt with soft Velcro in it, and then you have this outer really rigid, stiff, thicker belt with the matching Velcro on it. So you put the inner belt into your belt loops, and this outer belt actually wraps all the way around over it and it overlaps, and it gets a really nice secure grip on you. Those EDC belts that you normally see that are stiff and everything, just one layer all the way around in the belt loops, those aren't going to cut it. I tried it. What happens is the holster will slide left and right on you when you're drawing all the time. Get yourself a nice competition belt, because when you cinch down the overlapping belt to the inner belt, this lock won't move as much like it will on an EDC belt. Another thing I learned is that I have a tech lock here on the holster, and it's actually broken or come apart in the middle of practicing. So my next upgrade will just be a boss hanger drop down holster mount. So that's this is what I've got today, and that's what I'm going to use. The second thing that I've realized is that get your holster set in the right position. So for me, that right position is naturally where I drop my hands to grip the gun. There's times where if I've had this holster more at my 3 o'clock position, my hands would be hitting up on the slide or on the beaver tail, and I'd have to adjust to get a good grip on the pistol. But I've moved it up a notch here, a little bit forward more maybe about a 2 o'clock position, so that when I have my hands up like this, my hands naturally drop down on the gun there where I can pull it out. Okay, so make sure your holster is in the right position, something that works best for you. All right, so for the third thing that I've learned is that when you draw the holster, you don't want to grab it so hard like this and push it down to get a good grip on the beaver tail to pull it out. That's just a lot of movement there, and it's just going to cause you a lot of time in the end. So what you want to do is what I prefer and what I recommend is using your fingers to scoop that gun out of your holster just like this. And by the way, I've adjusted the retention on this. That's another thing I learned. Don't get your gun so tight. Make it loose that you can still get that click sound, but not have it so hard that it won't come out fast. But anyway, scoop that pistol out with those 3 fingers. And you want to obviously train this. I do this all the time at home dry firing. So I put the webbing of my hand as high up as I can on the beaver tail. Use the fingers to scoop it out, and then get that thumb grip on the gun and bring the other hand up. So, but if you go like this to push it down to make sure you have that good grip and then pull it out, you're pushing down and you're wasting time like that. Everything is in time, so the faster the better. Get it down like this. You don't need to slam it down, but just make sure you touch that and then scoop it up. Like that. If you do like this, if I hear you slapping it, then that's going to cost you time. Okay, so this is going to be a lot faster for you. Just scoop it up, and you're already on target. The next thing on here is your holster attachment to the belt, and I kind of just touched on that a little bit ago. Like I said, get yourself a very nice attachment here to your belt, something that's not going to break, something that's very, very sturdy and strong. The boss hanger, for example, uses screws on each of the outside holes here to really cinch down onto your belt, and this tech lock that I'm using is just basically a clip function, and this belt is a little bit too thick for that tech lock clip there, and that's why there's a lot of tension on there and it kind of breaks open sometimes on you. Another big thing that I've learned is shoot with both eyes open. So I'm left eye dominant, or I thought I was, or that's how I've always been shooting with pistols. I'm left eye dominant and I'm right-handed dominant. So when I was shooting, I would bring the gun up to my left eye and close my right eye, and that's not going to help you so much because you're bringing that way over here like this to meet your left eye, or if you're right eye dominant and you're left-handed, then you're doing that and you're bringing it way too far over, I feel, and you're not being able to lock that wrist appropriately. So now that I've started shooting with both eyes open and using my right eye now as the main focus on the sights, everything is more in line, and you can tell on my recoil meter on the Mantis that I have in the other video that my recoil management is a lot better and the gun is not flopping left and right as much as it used to. So shoot with both eyes open. You'll also be a lot quicker and faster on your target acquisitions, because after you take that first shot, you should be looking at the next shot and bringing that gun straight over to your next eye. So we'll go ahead and show you guys a little bit what I'm talking about. So that, I mean, I'm not the fastest shooter in the world. I've done this only for 2 months now, but we'll try it again with just my left eye and see if that is actually a little bit slower or less accurate. Oh, sorry, I got to practice closing my right eye now. Go back to what I'm not been practicing for a while. Now I think that was a lot slower because first I had to bring it up and adjust it to my left eye and then come over and look at the next target. So shoot with both eyes open. That's going to improve your shooting and speed a lot. I know it's going to be hard at first. If you're always used to shooting with one eye open, it's going to be awkward and everything and difficult at first. But one tip that I can say is that you're going to look at the target when the beep goes off, and you're not going to really focus too much on the sights. You're just going to naturally bring that gun up to your eyesight, and if it's not there, that's what you need to go home and practice dry firing on. My focus is still on the target and the sights. I can see that green fiber optic sight. It's a little blurry, but I know it's there, and then you can take that shot. Okay? So that's one tip that you guys can use. And one thing I notice is that when I bring that gun up now naturally to my eyes and I close my right eye, I see more of the left side of the gun, and the sight is not in line, right? But if I close my left eye, everything is perfectly in sight. And then when you're looking with both eyes open, it looks to appear that that gun is actually centered right in your face, right at your nose. And that's what you want. So I'm looking at the target, bring the gun straight to my eyesight, pull the trigger. And another thing that I've learned is that using these yellow tinted glasses, or the best out there would be the Hunter's Gold if you want to pay a premium. But I have these yellow glasses and they've improved a lot because when you have them on and your eyes get adjusted, white kind of stands out a lot brighter at your eyes. So when you're shooting and you look at the targets, those targets are coming at you pretty good. So I mean, they're right there and they're very bright and they're easy to see. So especially if you're using any red dots or iron sights like I am, you can pick up those targets a lot easier, a lot faster, and be a little bit more quicker, I think. You can still use clear, maybe you can still pick up that white, but if you're using sunglasses, for example, I don't think that's going to help you as much. I mean, you'll still be able to see the targets, but how bright or how much do they stand out to you so that you can shoot them quickly. The 8th thing on the list here is have 5 magazines with you. It can get a little bit pricey, but you can find good deals out there. But why I say to have 5 magazines is because you're going to be shooting steel competition at 5 rounds each, okay? So each stage you take five rounds at it. I've made the mistake of still having 5 magazines but not reloading in between the rounds. And what I've noticed is that if you're missing, like I did at the beginning, you're going to be reloading and that's going to really slow you down. So after each round, go ahead and just pop in a new magazine. For me, it's a new 17-round magazine, and I know I'm going to have enough ammunition to finish each round. But if you're super good and you're the best person in the world, you don't really need to have 5 magazines. You can just get by with 25 bullets in a couple or 3 magazines. But as a beginner, that's what I recommend. Have 5 magazines. The 9th thing on here is point your body at the first target that you're going to shoot. Either you're going to be doing it rimfire or centerfire from the holster. So if my first target is here on the left, I don't want to face my torso to the center target, because when the beep goes off, then I have to do an extra movement, you know, while I'm grabbing the gun and make sure I'm there. So have a good stance. Typically, I like to be very square to the targets. Feet are shoulder width apart and in line, but sometimes I might put that left foot up slightly, a little bit more. But when I'm at the steel competition, I'm going to be thinking about which target I want to hit first and point my torso already at it. So when the beep goes off, you grab your gun and you're already there. You bring your gun up to your eyesight because everything's pointed there, and you break the shot. If you're pointed at a different target, but you want to shoot another target first, it's going to be a lot of movement. And there I couldn't bring up the sight so fast, and I barely even hit the target there on the left. So there's a lot of movement there. You got to twist and everything. But once you're already on target and you bring that gun to your sight, it's quick and easy to get to the next target. So point your torso. You don't have to turn your whole body towards the first target if that's not what you prefer, but if you do, that's okay. And you just shoot like this. Basically, my hips are pointed basically at the center of the stage. My torso is going to be at the first target, and then I go from there. Same thing with rimfire. So my eyes are already at the first target. You have to have the gun pointed at a central location. Normally it's a cone. So I point my eyes at the target, and I can just bring that up and break the shot. If you're looking at a different target, you're going to be messing everything up and slowing yourself down. All right, the 10th thing on my list is don't shoot faster than you can see the sights. So what I mean by that, I know you want to go fast, but what you want to do is beat the time, whatever the time is. You don't want the time to beat you. So don't just be like doing that. I missed the second target because I didn't really focus on the sights. Oh, get another mag in here. That's going to be a lot faster because any misses that you don't pick up are going to be an extra 3-second penalty. So don't shoot faster than the sights like that. Shoot when you see the sight. Okay, it's going to help you a lot. And eventually you'll get it. You'll get faster at that, but don't shoot faster than sights and you'll do way better than if you didn't, okay? The 11th thing on here is hit the first shot. So what I mean by that is that when you draw the gun, make sure that first shot is a good shot. Once you get that first shot, everything seems to follow in place and you get into a rhythm a lot faster and a lot much better, and the sights are already there. If you don't, and you're just kind of like drawing from the holster and shooting the first shot really fast and you don't know if you're really on target and you miss, the rhythm of your next few shots are not going to be so good. So what I like to do is at home, I like to use the Mantis X app, and I put on the holster draw analysis and I listen for the beep. I grab the gun, I point it at the target, make sure I focus I know that the sights are there because you don't want to cheat yourself, and then I pull the trigger. How fast can you do that? That's the main thing. For me, it's about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds, but with practice, that makes everything better. Because the main thing is you always want to bring those sights up to your eyes without having to look and fish for it and everything like that. But that's only going to come with practice. So just make sure that you practice bringing that gun straight into your eyesight, and every time that sight should be in the same place. Let's go ahead and give a bit of an example here with a shot timer.
Stand by.
1.6. All right, guys, and here's the final thing that I have on my list. The 12th thing, learn transitions with 22 LR. 9mm can get quite expensive, but also 9mm can get a lot of hectic times at the range because you're dealing a lot more with the recoil. But if you're training at the beginning with a 22 LR and you're shooting at the target, it's going to be a lot quicker for you to start realizing how good and how much you need to transition. Not that you're going too far or too short or everything like that, but 22 shooting a rimfire is going to help you a lot, and it's going to transition over better to your 9mm. I didn't bring my 22 out to the range. I'm actually in the market for looking for a new one, just so I can have a better, more competition ready, more or less, 22. Not necessarily going to use it in competition, but it's going to be a great trainer pistol. So that's my plan. All right, so I hope this video helped you guys out. If you're new to the shooting sports, I hope that you're enjoying it so far, and I hope that these tips really help you get going, help you improve your speed and your time and accuracy and all of that. So if you like this video, please subscribe, go ahead and click like, and if you don't like this video, go ahead and click that thumbs down button twice, okay? We'll see you next time.